Hi, my name is Sarah. I'm an AmeriCorps member serving with the Community Forestry Corps in the city of St. Peter. Today we're going to talk about emerald ash borer and what the city is doing to be prepared. So what is EAB? EAB is emerald ash borer, and it falls under the scientific name of Agrylus planipennis. You can see it's a small metallic green beetle. The photos are kind of deceptive, make it look bigger than it is. It actually fits inside of a penny very well. When it opens its wings, it has a metallic red body. The life cycle of the beetle is like most insects, where it has different life cycles. So starting in the summertime through September, the emerald ash borer's mate, male and female mate, and the females will lay 60 to 90 eggs in the ash tree crevices. By October, these eggs hatch into larvae and create S-shaped corridors to tunnel through the ash tree bark and feed. The S shape comes from the larva, which is similar to a worm. In April, the EAB larvae enter the pupal stage to transform into sexually mature adults. And by late May, the pupae finally turn into adults and leave the ash tree bark with D-shaped exit holes. The EAB adults then feed on the ash tree leaves, mate, and the females lay eggs around 3 to 4 weeks before dying, starting the cycle over again. There are many insects that are lookalikes to the emerald ash borer. The bronze birch borer and the two-line chestnut borer are very similar in body form. They have those wings that fold tightly together over their back and a similar shaped head. What makes it even more confusing is that the traps that are placed for these beetles, the bugs will die on the trap, and when they die they may lose their green coloring and look very similar to the bronze birch borer and the two-line chestnut borer, a darker color. Otherwise, if you're a seasoned entomologist or bug identifier, you'll notice the other ones have different forms, body forms, shapes, coloring, but there is some metallic green, which could be a red flag and a sign that, oh no, I have an EAB. What does the EAB do? The larva, which is in the tunnel from the time it is born, creates those S-shaped corridors, eating its way through the bark, creating pretty immaculate tunnel systems under the bark. You can't see unless you peel the bark back. The adult beetles nibble on leaves but cause little damage. The larva feeding on the inner bark is what harms the tree the most. So when you look at the right at a diseased tree, you can see the tree is defoliated, and you might think, well, the beetles ate the leaves off, but in fact it's the tunneling which disrupts the phloem and the water distribution through the plant, and the leaves defoliate. Here's just a little closer up photo of the tunnels. It's kind of this crazy S-shaped gallery, we call them galleries, under the bark. D-shaped exit holes. Once the larvae transform into beetles, they need to exit the tree, and they chew their way through the bark, and an identifier for emerald ash borer is this D-shaped exit hole. It's the form or the shape of the head of the beetle, flat on one side and rounded on the other. Emerald ash borer was first found in the east, and then it migrated westward till it reached Minnesota. Emerald ash borer are not good flyers, so there are many reasons to believe that it's transported via humans and firewood. And the Minnesota Department of Agriculture and the DNR has created a quarantine program, so any of the counties that have known infestations are under quarantine, and there's regulations that go along with distribution of firewood and ash tree debris. EAB was found in Nicollet County in November of 2021 in a location near New Ulm. Previous to that, it was not found in Nicollet County. It was first found in St. Paul years ago, but now we're under quarantine, the whole county. You can see here within the red, those are the areas that are quarantined because of infestations. One little outlier up there up north, probably campers going up to the Northlands with some infested firewood.
So what is St. Peter doing to tackle this problem of the emerald ash borer? Previous to the recent find and recent infestation in the county, which led to a quarantine, St. Peter already had a management plan. Back in the fall of 2018, the City Council passed this management plan. The city has approximately 1,000 ash trees on the public right-of-way, which amounts to 22% of all boulevard trees. And this is only boulevard trees. There are also large populations of ash trees on private property. Strategies within the plan are threefold. One, the city has adopted a proactive treatment of and/or removal of ash trees, removing those in decline and those requested to be removed. This will help slow the spread of the beetle by reducing the certain host trees. Two, the city shall consider pesticide use for EAB on public trees to protect the trees and reduce the beetle populations in potential infested areas. This has already begun. For the past 3 or so years, pesticide has been applied to specific trees. Three, finally, replanting as ash trees are removed is perhaps the most important part of the plan. Reforestation with diverse species of young trees is the primary objective in retaining the city's urban forest. While it is impossible to avoid pests and disease, diversity planting with mixed planting schemes can reduce the impact. St. Peter has a variety of trees, but as mentioned before, ash trees are 22% of the boulevard tree population. This is the largest amount of any of the tree species, being the green ash at 22%. Next up behind that is the honey locust, and then we have basswood, hackberry, most of the varieties of maples, and swamp white oak. Parameters for removal within the emerald ash borer policy. The city shall begin by publicly announcing the policy of excluding any new ash trees on public property and boulevards, with the recommendation that citizens and businesses discontinue the use of an ash in any new plantings. The city will remove any boulevard ash tree with a rating below 4 in quality if the citizen agrees to replace it with an approved and permitted tree, and the maintenance division shall begin to remove any poor quality trees or trees in fair condition with major defects. So the city has already begun removing these ash trees and replacing them. Each ash that is removed will be replaced with 2 trees, one in the location of the ash and another one somewhere else. The condition rating is a system that is 1 through 10, 1 being the worst, 10 being the best. There are different characteristics within that to help define the value of each tree. There could be cracks or crooked growing trees and various other reasons. Quarantine and regulated articles. So we are now in a quarantine due to the recent find in Nicollet County near New Ulm. All of these articles are regulated. Ash logs, ash tree waste, ash chips and mulch, and all firewood that is non-coniferous. No regulated articles are allowed to enter Minnesota, and no regulated articles are allowed to move outside of the county unless they have an MDA certificate. That process is quite lengthy, and there is a sticker or label that is on firewood that is sold to prove that it has passed the regulations. For more information, feel free to check out the Department of Agriculture's website listed below. Report Emerald Ash Borer if you think you have found it. There are different avenues to do this. One, arrest the pests via the Department of Agriculture's website or the hotline number. This is the easiest. I recommend using Arrest the Pest. You can just fill out a form directly from the website. There's two other avenues. They're a little more lengthy and maybe for professionals as they require some sort of login or username. But it's Great Lakes Early Detection Network app and EDD Map S Midwest. They're worth checking out. Thank you for listening to my presentation today. Again, I'm Sara Aresenault, Community Forestry Corps Member. You can contact me at sara@stpeterminnesota.gov or at the Public Works Office at 507-934-0670. Thank you.